So Apple released new machines last night.
Yeah.
MacBook Pros and iMacs.
Were you awake for it?
4 a.m. Dubai time. Who's going to be up for that? I don't know, but at my age, sleep is the most important thing.
Not your age. Even at my age, I was sitting there at like 12 o'clock and I was like, I could be young about it. I was like, nah, I'll wake up in the morning.
I was thinking at 10 o'clock, should I just go to bed now? So I get 6 hours
This
of
is
it?
not
No,
happening.
forget it. Yeah, it's not happening. Get it?
But fair. It was a MacBook event.
Absolutely. Well, the new iMac also showed up, but let's leave that for another day.
Fair.
Let's talk about the MacBook Pros.
Yeah.
Let's start with the new MacBook Pro, the 14-inch baseline model.
Correct.
Which is replacing the 13-inch touch bar version.
model. Yes.
Thoughts on touch bar version now that it's completely dead?
I mean, listen, I will not lie. I was never one of those who minded the touch bar
Same.
too much.
Same.
I actually found a lot of functionality with it.
Yeah.
But clearly we're heavily the minority.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a hater either. I thought it was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Looked nice.
But
worked well.
yeah, RIP. So that's done. So the 14-inch is now the base model, which is good, I guess, for everyone involved.
But is it a Pro? That's my question to you. It starts with 8 gigs of RAM.
Right.
Max you can go is 24.
Okay.
It's got one less USB-C port. So instead of 3, they've dumbed down to 2. You can only connect one external display compared to the rest.
Right.
So is it Pro machine, putting them in the category, just like the
I see
13-inch
your
MacBook
point.
Pro
I
was
see your
never
point.
really a
A
Pro,
Pro
right?
machine.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess
And-
it's base level Pro.
But with that feature set, it's literally the MacBook Air with a better screen
And a fan.
and a fan and 6 speakers. Sure. we
Yes,
can
yes.
go on and on.
That's what I'm saying.
So between the 15-inch Air and a 14-inch MacBook Pro,
Right.
You were saying that you would recommend people in the direction of the Pro?
No, I'm just
Or
saying
the-
it would be a comparable decision to make where
Okay.
there are certain pro features like the fan,
All right.
the better speakers, the better display,
Okay.
where someone would choose that. But there are people I know out there who would also be like, okay, what I'm trying to say is it's a good
Okay.
comparison factor to
What
have.
would you choose?
Between the two?
Yeah, if you had a 15 inch Air.
15
15 inch Air.
15 inch
Okay,
Air.
all
I
right,
will.
okay.
I saw it like properly, took some time with it recently.
It's a
and
nice machine.
Beautiful.
It's a nice
Beautiful.
machine. The only thing that nudges me in the direction of the Pro is the better screen.
Fair.
You know, that's
Fair.
the only thing that nudges me. Otherwise, you're
So,
absolutely
but
right.
then
Air is
to your point,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where the pro-ness of it
Yep.
comes out. And those little, yeah, I know, but then a lot of people might not care about those
Yeah.
extras. They might just want the better display, just the 6 speakers, just the fan.
fair enough.
So,
I would have ordered one today, but guess why not?
why not?
It's not available in Space Black. They had to reserve the Space
So-
Black for the higher end version.
So space black is the new color that they have, and I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
I don't think
I loved
it's. I don't think. I just don't understand why pro devices have to be blacks and silvers and gold. Ugh. Like I'm done with that.
Doesn't
like,
have to be, but it
give
looks
me
nice.
give me like a yellow pro device. Why?
Sure, I get it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it looks nice stealthy. I like the look
Fair,
of it.
fair.
Don't know how much of a fingerprint magnet it's going to be.
So apparently
It
they've
is
worked on
magnets.
that, right? So they've got a new
did say
coating
something.
and it doesn't have
But
fingerprints
they
and
said
stuff
that
like
about the Air as well. So
Fair,
and the green
fair.
Air that I have is
blue air.
blue or
You
green.
have a blue air.
Okay, whatever that color is, looks kind of green to me. All right, so let's
Fair.
come to the insides of it.
Yes.
M3 processors.
Yeah.
You've got the M3, M3 Pro, and M3 Max.
Correct.
Surprising that they released them all together.
All together.
Generally, the M3 comes out earlier, and then a few months later, the Pro,
Pro
and the Max
devices.
version. But this time around, all three at the same
I
time.
think the idea must have been from the start that okay, like let's just get the transition done with,
Yeah.
and then let's start releasing all the processors together.
Right.
I would assume that that's where they're going down because now it'll just be a matter of the devices coming out.
Look, I think the bandwidth here is that it's 3 nanometers.
Right.
The iPhone is also using 3 nanometer processors.
Correct.
Can TSMC produce enough of them to not just justify the iPhone's demand, but then add Mac on top of that? You know,
I
So
guess,
that's
right?
something
And
that-
don't forget the devices are the Pro Max device. Sorry, not Pro Max. The Max devices are coming out later.
Yeah, but just like November, like
Yeah, but still,
a couple of weeks
still,
later.
Still, a couple of weeks later,
Yeah.
end of November.
Yep.
So I think that that whole factor will remain in terms of that. But in terms of releasing all of them together, to me it makes sense. They announce everything now. If you want a laptop with Max, you have it available. If you're going to wait for the Studio, if you're going to wait for the iMac, you just keep
Right.
waiting for those devices.
But then why not release the Air? Why not update the MacBook Air? I mean, the Pros got updated earlier this year as well.
Right.
The Air was released earlier this well. The Air was updated last year when the M2 was released.
Correct.
So the Airs had to wait longer. So
I don't know. I don't know what Apple's doing, to be honest. In my opinion, I already don't see the need for every device to be updated every year. I've been a supporter of that for a long time.
Sure, fair enough.
But I guess they're figuring out a cycle that based on 1, 2, and 3 and the way everything was done.
Yep.
I think they're figuring out what their cycle is going to be, because now, for example, there was a rumor on iPads, and
never came.
iPads never came.
No.
If you factor in your case point about chips,
maybe that's what.
what they were like. Okay, we have to sacrifice one. We can't sacrifice iPhone. We can't sacrifice Mac. Let's sacrifice the iPads.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely
maybe that's what was kind of happening.
M3 is supposed to be a speed demon,
Yeah.
GPU-wise specifically.
Right.
Hopefully that means that we're going to actually get some good games on the Mac now that the GPU is capable.
Yeah.
Because the iPhone's got a similar GPU inside it, and it's running Resident Evil Village and stuff like that. All the latest console games.
From the
latest
little, I will not lie, I didn't watch the whole event. I watched the catch-up videos on YouTube. But from what I saw, in my opinion, I think just them generally, earlier, let's say, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, you'd only hear creators and professionals, but now you're hearing gamers all across the presentation. So I don't see why gaming wouldn't be a large concentration for it. It would only be a sensible move for Apple to go down that path.
They did show Baldur's Gate 3 running on the MacBook Pro, so hopefully there is some direction from there.
I'm going to nod my head as if I know what that is.
All right, so other improvements, the screen on SDR has gotten slightly brighter.
Yes,
600 nits versus 500 nits.
Yep.
And the maximum amount of RAM that you can configure now is 128 gigs on a laptop. Insane.
Insane.
So I guess if you need the power, there's really nothing like it.
There isn't anything like it. The only thing is, one thing I wish Apple would stop doing is, I don't know if you notice those silly graphs they make.
Right.
And at the bottom, it's always an MSI Prestige.
Okay.
And I'm just like, why? Just like, be ballsy about it compared to something else.
So maybe the Prestige laptop has those high-end configurations?
No, it does.
Yeah.
It does. So what they showed was an MSI Prestige. I forget the exact model number. It had an i7 13th generation,
Gotcha.
all that stuff.
Okay.
And to their credit, they showed exactly what that laptop is. They weren't this about it. But my point is, if you're going to create these generic graphs, like give a slightly better idea,
Fair
right?
enough.
You know,
Fair
I understand, yes, it is 50% better and 60% better. I understand. But give me a slightly better idea versus the chipset or versus, you know.
So here's why they don't necessarily do this, right? I mean, they love showing how fast it is. And one thing that I think Apple please remove is comparing to your old Intel laptops.
That's true.
They've been dead.
That's
Please
true.
don't
Stop
compare
that
with
right
them.
now.
Yes,
Just be done
absolutely.
with it. Just be
compare
done with
them to
it.
the M processors, which are great.
Be confident in the fact that Mac users with Intel will come to Mac with Silicon.
Absolutely.
With Apple Silicon. Don't worry about it.
100%.
We will see to it. You stop talking about it.
But having said that, it's always a performance per watt.
Yes.
What that means is that if you are giving the full wattage to an NVIDIA GPU, it will be faster than the Intel. If you're giving a full wattage to the Intel CPU, it will be faster than Apple processors. It's just that at a particular wattage, Apple is faster. But if you let them roam freely to the maximum potential of theirs, yes, you won't get the battery life that you get out of the Macs, 100%, but they will be faster.
If you'd like to see more of this explained, let us know in the comments.
I sure can tell explaining that. Don't know who you have in mind for doing that. All right, so final question. Will you upgrade?
No, absolutely not.
You've got the M1.
M1 Pro.
M1 Pro.
I'm happy with it.
I've got the M2 Pro as well.
I would say 1 in 10 times we'll see the little loading logo.
Gotcha.
So I don't really need it. The black is not worth my time. It's not. I'm very happy with mine. To be honest with you, I would even just carry a studio around if I could, because like I don't even open my laptop up. Like it's always connected to a display.
Fair enough.
So I don't need to.
And that black is super tempting.
That black is, but then you've got Tbreak. Just get a nice little skin on it. You've always been picky about skins.
Anyone from Tbreak team wants to buy my M2 Pro, hit me up.
Tbreak team?
Yeah. Sam sitting right behind the camera, Mustafa sitting on this side. Guys, if you need to upgrade, I'll have you. All right, cool. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, or if you have any questions on it, feel free to comment. Next time around.
Yep, definitely. See you then. Bye-bye.